Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 38 of Risky Radio. My name's Ben, aka Shopa, and joining me tonight, as always, Zach, aka Risky the Kid.
Hello everybody.
And Lewis, aka Waterloo.
Hey!
Alright, before we get into what we've been doing this week, we're going to go back to that quick giveaway announcement. Zach?
Alright, so we got a giveaway going on right now, and I'm going to remind you all about it. On January 8th, during episode 40, we'll be doing a drawing for a $20 gift card to the platform of your choice. Whatever you want, you can spend it on, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's great.
All you have to do to enter is leave us a review on iTunes, take a screenshot of it, and send it to us at Twitter at _riskyradio, or you can shoot us an email at officialriskyradio@gmail.com. If you've already left a review, you can feel free to take a screenshot of that and send it to us. So yeah.
Awesome. So sticking with you, Zach, how was your week? Christmas, probably pretty busy. What did you play?
Yeah, we had a lot of time off from work, so that was nice.
That's true.
That must have been nice.
It was nice.
Very nice.
I wouldn't know.
We work in the same company. What do you mean?
Yeah, but you guys work in the back of the house doing a lot
Nothing
less than I do.
Oh,
And,
I beg to differ.
We don't need to have that
I
discussion
will much
here.
rather trade you jobs.
Well, we can talk about it.
Well,
some
maybe
other
not so
time.
much you, but you.
Interesting. It was good though. I didn't get anything gaming related for Christmas, which is actually kind of weird. The one thing I asked for that was specifically video game related was Zelda Breath of the Wild, because you moved out, took the copy, and I was like, all right, that's all I want. And so I sent a list to like my family and Megan, and then they didn't talk to each other, and then no one bought it for me.
Oh, no.
So I wrote Zelda on Switch. And then my mom after Christmas was like, oh, did everybody like get some stuff on their list or whatever? And I was like, oh, yeah, I got one thing. And then she's like, well, like what other stuff was on there? I was like, Zelda on the Switch. She's like, I don't know what Zelda on Switch means. And my brother was like, I also have no idea what Zelda on Switch means. And then I had to like explain that. I was like, you remember the NES, Mom, way back when? This is like the current NES. This is the Nintendo system that you play video games on. So they had no idea.
You probably should have just left it at Zelda Breath of the Wild, and you would have had better luck with that. Because they probably went to the store and went, we need to get Zelda on the Switch, and the guy was like, here, Zelda and the Switch, and then put them on top of each other, and it was like $500, and she was like, oh, no, I'm not doing that.
My mom's not Southern, believe it or not.
No, she's not, but that's how my mom would have probably said.
True. Yeah, Christmas was good, though. It was white and wintry.
It was snowing.
Which is nice, because we don't get that a lot nowadays. Thanks a lot, global warming.
Yeah, jeez.
What the hell are you talking about? We still get plenty of winter up here.
Yeah, but not
always
on
Christmas, though. I feel like we've had some green winters in the past few years. As far as games go, I've just been playing a lot of PUBG and Fortnite. Not much to touch on there for me. I forgot to mention this last week, but I bought Rocket League on the Switch. So I've been playing that here and there. It's really good. It's a really good port. The online is good. Like, the servers are smooth. It doesn't look the best, I would say, but whatever. As long as it's playing like Rocket League should, like, that's definitely the most important part. So there was that. I also started up Persona 5. I'm maybe 3 or 4 hours into it. That game's super fucking weird. Super weird. But it's good, and I'll probably have more to say about it next week for sure. But yeah, it was a good week. How about you, Lou?
It's about the same. I mean, I was a little bit more filled with work. I was kind of also sick. You guys heard that last episode.
How are you feeling now?
A lot better. It's mainly, if there is anything wrong with me, it's more just stuck in my nose now. I feel like I've been blowing out a lot of gnarly boogers and shit.
I saw something on. There's a show called Life Hack. Or it used to be a show, and now it's a show again.
Yeah.
If you are clogged up, take like I want to say a vibrator.
Okay.
But like a personal massager of any type, and you run it back and forth over your sinus.
Okay.
And it loosens everything up, and it will start to drain it.
So
weird.
I don't have a vibrator put on my nose.
But if you have like a little back massager thing, maybe I don't know.
Your cell phone on vibrate and have someone call you.
So exact call me. I need to drain my nasal passage.
I've been using the thing you stick up your nose and the saline solution for your nose,
all right.
which helps break it up.
Gross.
Taking a lot of baths. I actually got for Christmas. I actually got a tub stopper, so I can actually put it in my drain and fill up my bathtub.
Oh, you just gotta get enough pubes to throw down in there.
Oh my god!
No, because that
gross.
means when I take my regular shower, it's going to drain up.
No, you just take the pubes out.
Well, then
but before I was actually, I was kind of using something like pubes. I was using the heel of my foot to clog it up instead.
Do you think your heel is close? It's like your pubes?
I don't know. It was a stretch. I don't know. It clogged the drain like a lot of pubes would.
So you would lay down in your tub, turn the water on, and stick your heel in the opening so that your tub filled up.
Yep.
Do you just switch legs when it gets uncomfortable?
Yeah, pretty much. So a little would drain out, then I'd have to fill it back up.
Do you ever play your Switch in the tub?
No, because I was afraid I would drop it
Yeah.
and get electrocuted.
Well, what you do is you put it up on your toilet and then just have the Joy-Cons, because then if you drop the Joy-Cons, it's not
as bad.
It's not as bad.
But yeah, I've been doing that, which helps break up my sinuses with all the steam and everything. Playing a lot of PUBG. Been playing some Zelda. And that's about it for games. Christmas was pretty good. I mean, it was quiet, just me and my folks. I got a sweet Flash hoodie.
He's wearing it now.
As you guys can attest to, it is pretty
dope.
dope.
It is pretty dope.
I also got some really, really cool Flash socks. As if you guys couldn't tell, I really like the Flash.
Which Flash, though?
Barry Allen Flash.
The one from the television show.
The television show. The original, the real Flash. Barry Allen is the real Flash. A lot of people.
The Justice League one?
The Justice League one is actually Wally West. Anyways, it's really confusing to figure out who is what. Are you talking about the Justice League movie or the Justice League TV show?
Who's the Black Flash?
That is Wally West. But they also have variations of Wally West, white or black.
We shouldn't get into this.
Yep.
Yeah, so
sorry.
The DC universe is very confusing.
That's why I just don't read it.
Especially with the Flash, he's the one that pretty much makes the world confusing because he's the only one that could originally do the time travel,
Thanks
which
a
changes
lot,
everything.
Flash.
But anyways, back to reality.
Oh, there goes gravity.
Yeah, that's pretty much been my week. Just a lot of some games here and there, a lot of work, trying to earn as much money as I can. A little bit of sickness and playing PUBG and Zelda. What about you, Ben?
I had a pretty busy Christmas. Jess's parents are divorced, and there's a lot of different families to go see, so we did a lot of traveling. Mm-hmm. But in the long run, 5 Christmases means 5 Christmases worth of gifts.
And food.
Yeah, food, yeah.
So I had a lot of food. I got a lot of gifts.
Did you eat a lot of ham?
I did have a lot of ham. We actually we had a variation. We had ham loaf cut into like meatballs. And we ate that.
The fuck is a ham loaf?
A ham loaf? It's
So
like meatloaf, but like ham.
So you had ham loaf meatballs?
So you like grind up the ham
I
into
don't
a
know.
loaf?
I don't want to know how he makes it. It just tastes
Does
really
it come
good.
out looking like a meatloaf? Just
Well,
like
no,
a blob of meat?
I think so. But this was meatballs, so it was different. They just look like meatballs.
So you had ham balls?
yeah.
In technicality, yes.
Oh,
Was it
that's
like in
super-
spaghetti sauce?
Super
And, like-
weird. Hopefully not in ham hock sauce.
No.
It was
No.
good. I don't even know what you're talking
I
about.
don't know. They come with a glaze. There's like ham glaze.
That you dip the meatballs in?
No, they just cooked in there.
Oh, they cooked in the...
yeah.
Okay.
They didn't need. They were pretty good. They didn't need any like sauce.
I don't know
Then
cooking.
we had like little smokies and
Mm-hmm.
Little weenies?
cookies, and so I ate a lot of good stuff. I got a few good presents. I did pretty well this year.
What
Other
was
than-
your best present?
I haven't been able to set it up yet, but it's probably the Sonos one, the Sonos Bluetooth wireless speaker set.
It's like
mixed in with Alexa.
like a Google Home.
kind of, yeah.
Like talk to it and it
So
can play music
Amazon
for you
and
and stuff.
Sonos work together to create like a binding of two of kind of the best in home voice situations.
So
it's
you
pretty
got to
cool.
be like, yo, Sonos, turn on my lights for me,
He
please.
said it's
No,
combined
it's
with Alexa.
So you'd be like, oh, yo, Sono Alexa.
Or you just say Alexa.
Oh, you don't have to say Sono.
You also don't have to
Sonos is the brand of speaker. I don't understand.
Well, I didn't know it was a brand. I thought it was like Alexa.
You've never heard of Sonos speakers? Really?
No, I haven't.
Oh. They're because they're high end. That's probably
pretty really good.
I mean, that was cool. I got a webcam because we traded webcam for recording stuff, Zach. And I got a new keyboard because I spilled beer on mine.
So, I asked you for your favorite gift. You gave me a lot right there.
But I gave you 3 because they're like all my favorites.
I can tell you mine, this Flash hoodie. Boom. That's how it's done. One and done.
I got a board game about making wine called Viticulture.
Ooh.
God, you sound like a 55-year-old father.
Have you ever heard of the board game Fact or Crap?
Yeah.
My mom been wanting that, and I can't find it. So that's what I was going to do.
The Amazons.
But I didn't have enough time to do the Amazons.
Yeah, you did. You could have ordered the Amazons on Friday. Thursday or Friday afternoon, ship it to somewhere on Saturday, like your apartment.
Okay, you know what? I didn't do that.
You're a bad son.
Bad son.
I got her something even more special than that.
Your love?
Yeah. I also got her a coffee mug.
So there you go.
Every morning when she drinks, she can think of me.
Is there a middle finger at the very bottom of it? So when she finishes it, she can look into it?
I wish it was just her...
She'd probably think that was fucking hilarious.
She would. She would actually like it a lot. No, it was just her sign for like Aquarius of what she is.
Cool.
And then I got my dad one too. And that was my gifts from my parents.
Nice.
I played the cheap route this year because I have no money.
That's fine. Like
cheap route's the best route.
Mm-hmm.
I always go with the thought that counts.
Yeah.
So even though I still spend a shit ton of money during Christmas for everybody, it's still like the thought that counts.
See, I could have been like, I thought of you during Christmas. Does that count?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Was I naked?
I mean, I didn't think of you personally.
Oh, you're just saying it. I got
yeah.
you. Sorry, vulnerable moment.
It's all right.
No, and then I got to play a shit ton of PUBG. We get on that almost every night if we have the opportunity to. Fortnite, Battle Royale, I've played a bunch of too. Love that game. Just has its different aspects than PUBG, and I can actually move in that game, which is kind of nice. Other than that, just like League, which I hadn't played for a little while because we were doing Game of the Year stuff, and I was trying to get into that. But yeah, so let's get into the free shit for this week. We still haven't figured out how to make that sound louder.
It's broken.
As he makes it work perfectly.
Broken my ass. That's not broken.
Your ass is not broken? That's a good thing. All right, so nothing has changed from last week, so we'll run through it real quick. Games of Gold, Xbox One, Warhammer End Times, Vermintide. You can get it till the 31st, so you only have a few more days. And Back to the Future, the game, 10th Anniversary Edition. Goes until January 15th, so you have a little while into the new year to grab that. On your 360, Marlo Briggs and the Mask of the Death, also to the 31st, so grab that quick before it leaves. PS Plus, on your PS4, Darksiders 2, Definitive Edition, and Kung Fu Panda, Shadow of Legendary Legends. PS3, Siberia Collection, Siberia 1 and 2, and X-Blaze Lost Memories. And on your Vita, Forma 8, which is a cross-buy for your PS4, and Wanted Corp. So that's your free shit for the week. Up next, a word from our sponsor.
This week's episode of Risky Radio is brought to you by 16 Ounce Gaming. It's a podcast with a bunch of great dudes talking about games. All video games and probably dirty other stuff.
Definitely going to find a couple of dick pics in there, maybe.
Dirty.
On the Discord, there's a whole channel devoted to anything you want.
Literally and metaphorically.
It's where dreams go to die. Yeah, good group of dudes, though. They have a Discord. They have a bi-weekly podcast all about games. If you're interested, the links to that stuff will be in the show notes. So go down there, check them out, and support them. Good group of dudes.
Awesome. Thanks. All right, next, let's get into a couple of news stories. Kicking off our news docket this week, Lou, Nintendo Power.
Yes, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but Nintendo Power did have an awesome magazine back in the day.
I feel like that's been gone for quite some time now.
Yeah, I was a subscriber to it. Every month,
of course you were.
I would get a magazine from Nintendo in the mail. It was nice getting Nintendo Power. It'd keep you up to date with everything Nintendo. But good news, Nintendo Power is back. The lovable old magazine is back. But this time it's actually going to be coming to you, there it is, as a awesome podcast called Nintendo Power. Basically the same thing that you would get in the magazine, just on a podcast.
Just consuming it this way, which is way more convenient than reading.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's like Audible for your magazines, which is awesome.
Yep.
Audible's a site that will read the books to you guys.
Yep.
I wasn't sure. You guys looked at me
books on tape.
Yeah. But instead of books on tape, it's going to be a magazine on tape, basically.
But it's going to be on podcast, not on tape.
Yeah, I mean, you can record it onto a tape.
It's just voice.
Yeah, it's just voice. There might be some visual effects with it as well, but it's cool. I'm happy about it. It's coming back. It'll be something to watch and listen to.
Have they announced anybody on the actual podcast?
No, not to my knowledge. No,
I would assume they have their hosts chosen already. I would think, maybe not. I don't know. I'll check. I'll give it a look this week.
Yeah, I just saw that briefly.
Cool.
I know there wasn't too much going on. I know a lot of things aren't going to be letting the news out because of the holidays, and usually it's done from now till the new year.
Hopefully everybody has time off.
Yeah, but it's just something I saw real quick that I wanted to bring to you guys' attention. It will be out there, and it will be something cool to listen to.
Well, that's cool. It's a good time to come in now that they have all that stuff they can talk about with the Switch and how well it's doing. It's great to hopefully be one of the first with your feet in the door on a podcast about Nintendo. I know like Destiny podcasts and Xbox podcasts do really well because those systems do really well and games do really well. So getting your foot in the door early on a new system like this is probably a great idea, especially if you're going to have people who recognize it from different age groups as well. You'll recognize it, but then the young kids playing Nintendo now have something to listen to like you did back when you read the magazine. So that's great. Getting their foot in the door. Really cool.
It's a good time to start this with the renaissance of Nintendo, I would say.
Agreed. Next, Xbox keyboard and mouse? Question mark?
Yeah, so Microsoft Poland, they posted a reveal of the mouse and keyboard. Not a reveal because they've been talking about this since like 2015, how like eventually we'll have mouse and keyboard. But Microsoft Poland put up a post and it quickly got taken down. But the post read, and I quote, "Some players prefer to conquer the virtual world with a pad in hands. Others, above all, value the precision of the mouse movement. Others, however, cannot imagine playing on anything other than a keyboard. Now, owners of Xbox One consoles can choose these accessories and decide for themselves what they will use." So, I'm assuming this was just some miscommunication between Microsoft's Poland branch and everywhere else. So, because of this announcement, I would assume that we're going to see something about this maybe in January, like in this upcoming month, possibly. Because that makes it sound like it's like, hey, it's here now. And well, it's clearly not. And they deleted that post immediately, pretty much. But somebody grabbed a screenshot of it while it was up and then translated. But yeah, so that'll be exciting. Will any of you be partaking in that?
I will be. I wanna give it a shot. I'll probably purchase one. I would like to know what it's like to play with a mouse and keyboard.
So then I have a question for you.
Yeah.
There's already software and stuff you can use to play mouse and keyboard on your Xbox. Why wouldn't you have done it before?
Because I did not know that there was.
Oh, really?
Well, the Zim 4, I think is what it's called, and it's like almost a $200 adapter.
Okay, well then maybe I'll just
right off the bat
buy a regular mouse and keyboard and pop it on there then.
Well, no, that's the thing, is you need a regular mouse and keyboard and this adapter, and that adapter plugs into your Xbox.
Oh, so I need the adapter itself.
And the keyboard and mouse.
So until Microsoft officially has keyboard and mouse support, this is the only way to do it, and people use it now.
All the time.
But when this comes out, you'll literally just be able to take whatever keyboard and mouse you have and plug it into your Xbox.
So once I don't need to buy the $200 adapter, I'll get a mouse and keyboard to give it a shot.
Yeah, so this will be like Microsoft supported, so you won't need any external stuff.
I took that differently. I took that as Microsoft is creating a mouse and keyboard like their controllers for Xbox.
Yeah, that's how I thought it was going to be a specific Xbox One X Microsoft keyboard.
Well, just Xbox One.
So this is just support for any type of
just like they just
keyboard.
brought out a full like range webcam support. You can plug in whatever third party.
Yeah, exactly.
Third party.
Same idea.
Cool.
But then I would love to test out PUBG
so in
with
that
a mouse
case,
and keyboard.
Would you be doing anything? Would you be trying to play on a mouse and keyboard, Ben, since you're familiar with it?
No, probably not still.
Just play on your...
I would, honestly,
pad?
at this point in my life, I would have bought a $200 adapter if I was really that worried about it.
Yeah, that's true.
I like the difference in mouse and keyboard versus playing with the paddles and everything, or else I would just ignore you guys and play PUBG on the PC.
Well, then you're not playing with friends.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have a couple.
That's
friends
important.
But you're not playing with friends.
That's also a good point. But still.
So what do you think about the competitive advantage it could give you, though? Like for the type of games you play, especially someone who primarily came from PC gaming in general.
So I think everyone is going to sit here and bitch and complain about it, but I think that the sharpness and the precision you can get through an Xbox console isn't going to differ much between a mouse and keyboard versus a controller. Yes, there's more range you can get with your mouse and keyboard. There's more options because of the way that the paddles work. But in the long run, I think the percentage of increased precision you can get with isn't high enough to make the advantage enough to change it.
So maybe it makes it's a big enough difference at like your highest tier of gaming then maybe, but for most of like us casual gamers, maybe I don't want to call us casual, but like not at the pro level of gaming. For us, the difference between mouse and keyboard may not be enough to really warrant buying a keyboard and mouse if you don't have one or whatever.
I mean, yeah, and I'll make the analogy that me playing Counter-Strike on a mouse and keyboard and then a pro playing Counter-Strike on a mouse and keyboard is like me playing Xbox with a controller and them playing Xbox with a mouse and keyboard. It doesn't matter what you use. If you practice with it enough, you can get good enough in these games.
Well, I would say if you took the very best player on mouse and keyboard at any game and you take the very best player at the same game on a controller, the controller guy is not going to win. I think the precision is... I would assume the precision is that much closer.
I think there's different styles of play.
I mean, sure. But I'm saying with the tools, I feel like mouse and keyboard is a tool that will let you be a better player in the long run.
I think the console itself will limit the precision enough where it won't matter. I think the problem isn't the mouse and keyboard versus the controller. I think it's how precise you can get with a mouse and keyboard on an Xbox console. Because you build a computer to get that precision. You have a graphics card and all this stuff. And I know the X just came out with some great gear, but I think with your console play and the way you do that, I don't think that the precision is going to matter that much.
What about you, Zach? Are you going to participate in this?
I mean, I'd give it a shot. There's no reason for me not to, especially since I play at a desk already. I don't know if it would be that much different.
Is it going to be hard to get your lazy board now up to the desk?
Getting the recliner up to the desk? Yeah. Well, that's why the great thing about my setup is that the big TV is right above the monitor, so I can still go back to the recliner or come up to the desk.
Bluetooth keyboard and mouse.
Oh, you get one of those sweet dinner trays that go over the lazy boy.
Yeah,
you'll just slide
and
up
I'll
there.
set my mouse and keyboard up right there.
Lean back and still do it. I need to get me a lazy boy.
Jeff Kaplan, though, he's the director on Overwatch. He's already voicing concern about this being an issue for his game Overwatch on Xbox. Like, he doesn't want people to be able, he wants to be able to not allow people. Like, it should be up to the game developers to allow or not allow mouse and keyboard support for particular games, like Overwatch for him.
Yeah, that's true, too, because if you have people that have mouse and keyboard and then people that have paddles on the same game, people most likely feel the edge is going to go to the mouse and keyboard just for precision, things. And then, so that I
still say slightly, but I guess we'll have to see. I don't know. I feel like it'll take some people to get used to get the precision down too.
True.
Especially somebody coming, if you're coming from a controller, you're not going to automatically get it.
Well, that's why
on mouse and keyboard as well.
And my thing was people that play on both, like you, maybe you'd just be more comfortable. Like, you'd feel more at home just playing the Xbox on a mouse and keyboard. Just play.
There's too many buttons on a keyboard for me. I always hit the wrong buttons and everything in any game I play.
Fair enough.
Although I can't say when I freak out in PUBG, I also hit a lot of random buttons.
Yeah, I do that same
I always
thing,
forget to hit left trigger to zoom out, so I'm like trying to jump and like hit B and like back out of my.
But yeah, you're still in
But
zoom.
then I'm just sitting here, just like moving and leaning with my zoom in.
Yeah, I've
like
done the
an
same
idiot
thing every now and again.
So it'll be interesting to see when that comes out and if and when it does, how it affects everything.
Yeah,
because you can get different
interesting
types of keyboards too. You can get like a regular like shitty ass keyboard, or you can have like one like I have for gaming, esports gaming, which is like mechanical switches and all that stuff. I don't know if that'll be a big difference on a console either.
That's
it'll
true.
Recognize,
or like how well it'll be supported.
And that's the other thing is they support all that well, but I still download like a SteelSeries driver that allows me to do color variations and macros and all this kind of stuff. So there's a lot of stuff like on a computer you have to download as well to be able to use these at the highest tier possible. So it'll be interesting to see what they do for support and drivers and all that kind of stuff.
I'm assuming it'll just pop up on your computer. It's like, your keyboard needs an update. Click. I'm assuming they'll make it as easy as they possibly can.
Yeah.
Which they'll just update drivers for said device when it needs to happen, I guess. So, I'm not super familiar with drivers, not coming from a PC background.
Well, it's just the ability to use your thing and update it. That's all it is.
Well, that's important. So make sure you keep your drivers updated.
Yep.
All right. That's going to be a short news week for us. Up next, the hosts of Risky Radio tell you, the listener, their top 5 games of the year.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Risky Radio. I will be the host for the remaining of your evening, and we will be discussing the top 5 games of the year according to Risky Radio. Let's start off with, oh my god, it's Shobi here. What is the number 5 game for you?
I'd have to say the number 5 game this year for me would be Ghost Recon Wildlands. Fun game, came out early in this year when there wasn't much to play. Mm-hmm. Cool solo play, cool multiplayer, giant universe like in your GTA 5.
It was a big world.
It was super fun.
Bolivia is a big country.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you got to play with your friends. You could run around solo, and it was like those good Ghost Recons where it was more about stealth and killing somebody with your sniper rifle from afar than really getting to super huge gunfights. It's gonna have. I have a recurring theme throughout my top 5 because one of my favorite things in games is when people keep up with them. Mm-hmm. When your developers keep putting things in the game, updates, DLCs, good work on their servers and stuff. So that's kind of a focus in my top 5. Mm-hmm. But this game hits that. They have a bunch of great DLCs that they come out with for free.
We just had the Predator last week, actually.
Yep.
They've had a PvP come out. That was the 4v4 we've tried as well.
That was good, too.
Different, they have colorful stuff. There's a couple of GTA 5 feely kind of things, like one you could drive monster trucks in was a while ago as well.
Yeah, I think that was like their first or second expansion. Yep.
So they're keeping up with the times, bringing out cool stuff. Even if it's just something little, something that keeps somebody interested. We keep going back. Every time they drop something cool, like that Predator one we're going to have to try here soon, we went back and tried the PvP. So games that really keep you interested are ways to get into my top 5. So number 5.
That PvP, before you move on quick, is probably some of the best PvP as far as like, it feels like you're the last 2 squads left in a game of PUBG.
Yep.
A well-oiled, functioning PUBG. Same modern combat style.
Yep.
And the game obviously is super pretty looking.
Yep.
So,
and even though it was a small thing, they just bring a 4v4 PvP, that seems pretty simple enough. Mm-hmm. The skill tree they were able to put in it, and the availability of the different classes and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's just, I like when people do little and have it come out to be something very, very big. Mm-hmm. Simple little DLC, big stuff inside of it. So that's why I got my 5th game of this year was.
5th game.
They did pretty well with keeping up with it, and It was fun when it came out.
What'd you feel about do you play much of the campaign?
We got through
we played a good chunk of it,
4
right?
or 5 of the little areas.
Yeah.
The campaigns were fun. They seemed kind of redundant.
I would say the story maybe not its strongest aspect, but as far as playing it, like I think we played it on the hardest difficulty, so it really felt like a Ghost Recon game.
Yep.
That's probably the only way to really play that game.
And it kept our interest for a while, and it was a ton of fun. I think if it wasn't so redundant, and one thing we did have is like it's just so easy to hop in a helicopter and go from A to B. There's no real like quick travel options. It's just the same kind of travel every time. You're dropping in from a helicopter or a plane, and you're just doing the same thing over and over, it feels like. So that was probably why it didn't get a little higher on the list, in my opinion, but still a good game.
Yeah, interesting look at you, number 5.
Yeah.
I like it, though.
Thank you.
What about you Risky? What would be your 5th game, top 5 game?
Prey was my number 5 game.
Ooh, very good choice.
This is another one that came out towards the beginning of the year, so it took me looking back through the games from this year to actually be like, oh shit.
100% the first thing I did was just hop into my games on my Xbox.
Yeah.
Like, what did I play and what actually came out this year?
Prey was a very good game too.
Prey was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
The story was compelling. Stuck up on Talos 1, dealing with the Typhon, right?
Typhon, yep.
It's been a while, obviously, since I played this game.
Oh, yeah.
But and there's a twist in the very beginning when you're actually on Talos, and which I still won't bring up, but the very end of that game is still like a huge mind fuck, and it's worth the 20 to 30 hours, whatever the main campaign ended up being for you. It was awesome. You had the recycler gun that you could take anything. You could take anything that you found and just put it into this, and it would give you materials to create other things like neuromods.
Well, you kind of did find a little bit of a cheat on your behalf that helped you recycle things.
I sure did.
Yeah, I think that also helped you progress quicker in the game.
Oh yeah, you finished that game real quick once you figured out that little glitch. I remember that.
I still think it took me like,
I mean, you did stay
20-ish hours maybe, but
you also stay up till like 4 o'clock that one night just recycling constantly. I remember you saying that.
Yeah, so it was like the cheat or whatever just made it essentially so I could have as many neuromods as I wanted, and the neuromods were the things that gave you your abilities in the skill tree. So I was pretty well equipped, I would say, to fight the Typhon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were.
You didn't have to struggle like I did with no neuromods and like almost no ammo.
You could have bumped the difficulty down.
Yeah, but
or
cheat. Yeah, what's the fun in that?
I don't know. Either way, I'm maybe that did affect how I enjoyed the game. If anything, it made it a lot more fun for me. It felt a lot more like a power fantasy. I was just out to kill. But still, there's things like the mimics that would still scare the shit out of me because it'd be like a coffee cup sitting on a table, and I'd walk by it and it would pop out. Big tar monster trying to eat my face.
Yeah. A lot of what I remember from this too is I remember you guys hyping this up from when you guys went to PAX and played this, and it was a blast. You guys said
they gave us a whole like demo of it and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it did a really good job of living up to that as well.
Yeah, I wasn't let down for sure.
It didn't live up to everything I thought it was going to be.
So that definitely helps.
A couple other things like the glue gun.
Oh, glue gun was so
glue
much
gun
fun.
was sweet.
Yeah, it's the first time you saw something like that in a real game.
Where it's just like you'd kind of shoot it at a wall and you could make steps for yourself, or you could like entrap the Typhon in it. Yeah, and the whole just being out in space. I love space. Probably my favorite setting for most games. Being on the Talos 1, and like there was the certain sections where you went into like the zero gravity sections outside of the ship, and that was all cool. The side quests were good for the most part.
There were a lot of nice side quests. I wasn't the biggest fan of the zero gravity. It feels like once zero gravity hits, it kind of feels like I'm flying a spaceship in most games. And in that case, I'd much rather play a spaceship game.
Fair enough.
But it was an interesting take. I did like how they integrated it into it. Like, hey, this part of the ship is broken, so there's no gravity, no nothing into it. So I kind of expected something like that anyways. Yeah. So I did like how they incorporated it, or how you had to go outside the Talos to enter in another part of it
that you couldn't get to from within the ship.
Yeah. So I mean, it was an inevitable thing that was going to be in the game. So it was nice how they integrated it. But like I said, I'm just not a big Zero Gravity fan.
Well, hopefully that didn't ruin the game for you.
Oh, no, it didn't.
Yeah, that was my number 5, though.
Oh, very good. Nice number 5. And on to Waterloo. Waterloo, what's your number 5? Well, my number 5 would have to be ARMS. That would be my number 5. It's a little bit different. It's for the Switch. I like my fighting games. I do. But this is a whole new take on it.
This is a whole new type of fighting.
I really liked how they incorporated in the Switch ARMS, where you're actually throwing the punches with the Joy-Con. You can curve them by pushing them, like putting them together like an X. You're going to block. You can strafe left or right by moving the Joy-Cons that way.
I remember like the first night that we played it. It might have been when we were doing the test punch, like the beta.
Yeah.
But waking up the next day and be like, why are my arms sore?
Yeah.
Like, what? We played video games last night. What?
So I like that aspect. This game actually is going to get you kind of your blood flowing. More than just for scares.
You remember how many times I beat you in that game? Like every single time when we weren't playing volleyball.
Exactly. When we weren't playing the mini games, you were winning. But I liked how they added that into it. It's a nice little mix up. I could see it'd be a fun thing. You bring your Switch and an extra Joy-Con to a party, and it'd be a fun little game to play.
Boxing each other. Yeah. And it's cool how you had like the different arms, the actual different like boxing or arms, I guess.
Yeah, different arms. You'd have different arms on left and right. Like one would be a regular boxing glove, and the other one would be like a boomerang looking motherfucker or something.
So you could like completely customize your fighting style.
Yep.
Yeah, that it's super different.
Yeah,
it's a hell of a title for the Switch.
Yeah,
and there's actually like tournaments and stuff for it as well.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
One of the organizations I follow on Twitter has a player in some ARMS organization, like tournaments and stuff, like 2Ks and stuff like that. He'll go play and he'll get a cut of whatever he gets.
Nice.
And obviously he'll get money and cool sponsorship stuff. But yeah, so it's cool seeing like a Switch game that's sponsored. People are sponsored for it and playing in tournaments for.
Yeah.
So that was actually surprising for me.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that big of a game, but then to see it have
all that
the competitive aspect of it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and like I said, it's something different. It's a fighting game that you've never really seen. This was a tough decision for me. I do like my fighting games. I almost threw in For Honor, but I feel like this is just a little bit different than that. That's why it took my 5th place.
Did For Honor come out this year?
It did.
It's not on your list?
It's not on my list.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Lord.
All right.
But this is pretty much what took For Honor's place.
Good.
For my number 5.
Close runner up to For Honor.
All right, on to number 4. Ben, number 4.
My number 4 game of the year would have to be Cuphead.
Cuphead.
Yeah, I'm throwing some curveballs at you.
Definitely.
I have never played a game that was so difficult to me and so like it had to be so precise but so much fun at the same time. I've never wanted to not let go of my controller and throw it into my television at the same exact fucking time.
100%.
Never been a game like that. I also am a fan of like that old school music and like the carny feel.
That 20s, 30s aesthetic is something.
That aesthetic really got me as well. And after watching the Game Awards a couple of weeks ago, that crew who did that developer was like 8 to 10 people.
I would say they're really small.
I give them a lot of props for that
game. For such a smooth, like so many streamers play it and like see how angry they can get, and there's literally like Twitch fails of people like throwing controllers and stuff from this game. So it's really fun to watch. It's like super fun to play. And I think for how small the group was, they made a fantastic game this year. They won a couple of awards, and Cuphead was a lot of fun, even though it made me super angry. And I don't know how to break a controller, but
Lewis really doesn't like this game because he was really fucking bad at it.
I was pretty bad at it. I respect the game. But
it was too hard.
It wasn't too hard. It was, if I'm gonna have a hard game like that, there better be something that's gonna keep me wanting to play, like Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden was a hard ass motherfucking game, but I like that game. This is a hard ass motherfucking game, but I don't like. But I'm not a big fan. I like the graphics. I like the art style. I like the simplicity, not the simplicity, but the side scrolling aspects of it. I like how it has the mini world map. You know, it reminded me of a fun retro Mario kind of deal, like where you would have your level and then you would go to another spot on the map. I like that aspect of it. It
was just too hard.
I wasn't good at it. I don't like it.
I didn't like it because I wasn't enjoying myself as I played it.
I had a lot of fun. I thought the game was super tough.
It was.
I cleared World 2, went on to World 3. Things come out. I'd love to go back and actually fight the devil someday.
I watched Markiplier fight the devil, and
it was probably pretty intense, huh?
Oh my god, the devil fight is crazy. There's so much going on. I don't even know what would be happening to my hands at that point.
So yeah, that game is about as smooth gameplay wise as you could make that type of game. I think like if you fucked up in that game, you fucked up in that game.
Yeah.
Like you weren't getting fucked over by the game. You weren't playing it well enough.
Yeah.
So
one little user error fucks you up in the whole game very badly. Yeah. Zach, you're number 4.
My number 4 is What Remains of Edith Finch, which I just recently got to it a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. A big thing for me generally is story in games. That's what this is. Mm-hmm. Maybe took me 2 hours to beat it. Straight walking simulator is all it is.
Fine.
But yeah, you're going back to the Finch home. I feel like I just talked about all this stuff, but I'll go over it again. You go to the Finch home, and the family's cursed. They all die unexpected deaths. A lot of them, exactly, they're doomed. A lot of them unexpected, and you go through the house, unlocking each person who had lived there's doors to like their houses, and then or to their rooms. You can look at their rooms, and the way that each individual room is like set up, you could tell a lot about who that person used to be just by looking at like what's on their walls, maybe what kind of paraphernalia they have laying around on their dressers and whatnot. But then in every room there's either a book or a journal or maybe some photos, and then you're going to dive into the last moments of each member of the family. And a lot of those stories some of them are super touching, some of them are like funny, obviously, because some of the ways they die are comical, but it's still death, so it's darker humor. But and then the ending, it has a really good ending, and I don't know, it's a tough game to talk about when it's literally all story, and I don't want to give any of it away. But when I finished the game, I was like, holy shit! Like, if I had just watched a 2-hour movie, it would be up there as like some of my favorite films of all time. I would think. It's really good. It's really short, and it's $20 at its highest price. Well worth a buy.
Well worth it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Edith Finch, very good. Go play it.
Nice. I like the number 4 then.
Thank you.
My number 4 would have to be Wolfenstein. That would be mine. Was that a hand?
No hands here.
Oh, okay. Number 4 for me was Wolfenstein. I really like the gameplay. I love the first person aspect of it. I like the fast pace of it. I felt like, unlike the fast pace of Cuphead, where if you fucked up, it's not game over for you. In this game, if you fucked up, you can still revive. Get your feet back under yourself and continue playing the game.
Unless you're in the first like 20 minst when you're in a wheelchair,
then you can't obviously.
Then you got to get your wheels back under you.
Precisely. But I really like the game. For far as first person. It reminded me of a lot of like a Doom type game, and I really like those. I love the fast paced. Just run and gun type of like who you were saying in Prey, when you had all your not your moto mods, but all your neuromods all the way up, you just felt like
powerful,
and I felt really powerful in this game.
Dual wielding. What level did you have it on then?
I had it on second hard. I had it up there. I did have to bump it down a little bit.
So did I to get through the end of it.
But you felt powerful, especially when you're dual wielding or when you get your shotgun all the way leveled up. You feel like, I have the power. I can fuck you Nazis up type deal.
And that's the big draw for me is just what you're doing. Like taking down Nazis. There's not many more
satisfying things.
Not much more satisfying than killing Nazis for sure.
I think that's why that was number 4 for me. I enjoyed it. Good story.
The story was fantastic.
Yeah, it was a good story. Kept me engaged. Like I said, I probably would have put Prey on there for myself, but I actually wound up finishing through this game. I didn't get frustrated with it with side quests. It was very linear, very cut and dry. Go this way. This is what you have to do.
Yeah.
This is how it's going to get done.
I would say I probably enjoyed the story in Wolfenstein more than Prey, like a little bit, but it's just some of the gameplay. As fun as like the run and gun stuff is, it kind of wears on me faster than other games. But Wolfenstein 2 is still up there. If this was a top 10 list, it would be on there. Cuphead would be on here.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of good games that came out.
It was
this year.
it was a
and
tough
Wolfenstein
decision bringing them down
fantastic.
to these. But my number 4 would have had to been Wolfenstein.
I like it.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to number 3.
All right.
Benny.
This I might surprise you guys here.
You've been doing it so far.
I might surprise you guys here.
Keep on
so
going.
number 3 game of the year, PUBG.
PUBG.
I think that's fine.
That's a fine spot for it.
I think it might be on some other people's lists though.
Yeah.
So how about we come to me? How about I go number 3?
Okay.
As long as it's not number 2, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Ha! But because that means poop.
That's what I was getting at. So, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Nier Automata. You guys didn't get a chance to play it.
Nope.
But it's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3.
Do tell.
It's for this. It's a good mixture of gameplay and story. The gameplay in this is unlike any other game I've ever played. I would say. Actually, it's kind of like a bunch of games that I have played.
It's just a good
but
mix.
I've never played them all in one game combined. So whether you're 3D hack and slashing, your 2D side-scrolling shooting, or you're like top-down shoot-em-upping, all of that shit happens in Nier Automata. And it also has a great story. It has multiple endings, having to play through each one to see different perspectives of the main storyline. I've only played through 2 of them, so I still have a couple more to go. But what I've played so far is great. You're playing as, I want to call them cyborgs. That's not the right word.
Not robots.
Androids. How does that sound?
Androids.
Like cyborgs.
So, yeah, pretty much, right? So, like, this apocalypse happens. The humans all go to Earth, or to the moon, to get away from the Earth, because these evil machines that are actually really cute come down, and they try destroying the world. So they send down androids, and you're playing as the androids, taking out the machines.
Taking out these cute machines?
Some of them are cute machines. And some of them become, like, sentient, and they're like, no, we're good machines. Don't hurt us. That might be a spoiler, but that happens at some point.
Are you a human playing as these androids, or are you the actual androids?
I'm myself in real life playing as an android in a game.
Or are you yourself in real life playing as a person on Moon?
No.
Playing? Okay.
You're just an android. 2B. And then
or
9S.
Someone controlling you right now.
Yeah, maybe this is a simulation that I'm in right now.
Elon Musk.
I would be bored if I was
watching
up there making me podcast.
Yeah, but
right
what
now.
if you were controlling all 3 of us
at the same time?
You'd have trouble with me.
If we were playing The Sims?
Yeah. Like if this was The Sims.
That hurts my
and they were controlling us.
Sims?
It hurts my brain.
All right.
And we all turn to the look, and the door's gone.
Oh, I would.
Door's still there.
Yeah, right. That would suck.
And the last thing about Nier Automata is the music. For me, it was probably Cuphead is up there, but Nier Automata I think edges it out as far as the soundtrack goes. Like the music in this for what's happening at certain points fits perfectly.
Spot on.
Yeah, it's a great game. My number 3.
Your number 3. Good choice. My number 3 would be Resident Evil 7.
Nice. That was a long time ago.
It was. The reason why I popped it up there on for number 3 is I've been a diehard Resident Evil fan for as long as I can remember. But lately I've been kind of getting tired of them.
That's because Resident Evil 6 was a piece of shit.
6, even 5 was pretty bad. My last Resident Evil that I liked was 4 because that did what 7 did for the genre.
Put it in a new direction.
Exactly. 4 put it over the top, over the shoulder, made it a little bit more action, kind of left the puzzles in the dust, which was fine for 4, but I didn't think they were going to go super crazy and just go completely all action like Gears of War on me.
Yeah, true.
But then when 7 came out, it's like they reinvented themselves. They brought it back to you're going to be scared during this game.
And it went first person.
Yeah, and then it took it first person, which was definitely a big shocker because the original Resident Evil were fixed cameras, kind of like you were watching someone through.
Have you tried going back to those games in the past few years?
Maybe 4 years ago, I tried playing the remake of 1.
It's got to be tough.
It was a little tough.
With the fixed cameras nowadays.
You do get used to it again.
I can see that.
But I just like that, you know?
Yeah, the fixed cameras, I would say, probably did a lot for it as well because, like, you couldn't look away from the screen or you couldn't, like, you were never going to miss what they wanted you to see.
Yeah.
Because their cameras were intentionally placed. So
to see certain things.
So that definitely did, was probably some of the reasoning.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the way that they're taking the new Resident Evil. I hope if they do make a Resident Evil 8, I hope it's first person. And I hope they bring back the scares and the puzzles because that's what this one did good again. It scared the shit out of me in a lot of scenes. And it gave a few little puzzles here and there that you actually needed to kind of think about and go back to another area to get this puzzle unlocked.
So me and Ben didn't play this game. But from what I knew, you were investigating like a mansion, right?
Yeah. Well, what
like
was happening?
Crazy people.
Is you're this character and you find your girlfriend has gone missing, and she sends you basically saying, "Hey, don't come and search for me." But you, being the loving boyfriend you are, is you go and search for her anyways, and you get kind of involved in this area in these backwoods, and all hell kind of breaks loose on you. And then you try to survive.
Yeah, I never saw anything bad said about this. All I ever saw was that this is the direction that the series needed to go in.
It really is. I'm glad they took away from the run and gun, let me shoot them up as much as I can type of deal.
With actually feeling scared and not just super powerful all the time.
Like I was playing the game and you scared the shit out of me one time.
Yep, I sure did.
And I mean I was mad at you, but all at the same time, it was nice that a game can give me that type of feeling. So
for sure,
yeah, that's why that would be my number 3.
I like it.
Awesome.
All right, on to number 2. Ben, what's your number 2?
All right, my number 2 for my games of the year would have to be Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
So,
Very cool.
And we can get to that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like that might be somewhere else on someone else's list, so...
we're getting to the point where some of them should be somewhere else.
Yeah, so. I think we're going to be kind of round-robining here until we get down to the next numbers.
So, what's your number 2, Zach?
My number 2, which we're also going to wait on, I'm thinking, is Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yep, I'll pop my hand up for that one, too.
What's your number 2, Lou?
My number 2 would be PUBG.
Hey, talk about it now.
So, yeah, we can talk about this now.
PUBG was your number what, Ben?
3.
Yeah.
Okay. Lou, your number 2.
My number 2. I put it as number 2 just because it had a lot of hype behind it. I was really stoked for it, and when I got it, even though there were a bunch of issues with it, I was still very happy to play it. I know the direction that Microsoft wants to take this game is going to pop it up there even more. It's a unique game for the Xbox. There's only like 2 other games like this.
And one of them's good and one of them's terrible.
Exactly. I enjoy every time I play it. I enjoy it. It's not something like I don't want to play or I start playing it and I'm like, oh, I don't want to play this anymore.
It's like the pinnacle of the one more game games.
Exactly. And I feel like if this game was polished and played like it did on the PC, it would probably wind up being my number 1.
I agree. Never have to play another game.
Yeah.
Would be higher if it was better.
I'm assuming that's why it hit your number 3.
Yep, that's the exact same reason. I enjoy like the more realistic gameplay and the battle royale style. It really gets your adrenaline pumping when you feel that kill or be killed feeling. And I mean, you still jump when you hear gunshots and you don't expect them.
Yeah, so, I play like this half the time, thinking I'm going to get my head shot, so I'm like ducking underneath my shoulders.
Yep. So, like you said, it was definitely up there for Game of the Year choices if it wasn't capped and the FPS didn't work and I drop in and I can't see buildings.
Yeah.
So if it ran exactly like the PC version or even if it was just a little bit worse, if I can see a building when I drop in and it's not, I don't get 1.5 FPS when I get into a gunfight. Okay, so I get 10 FPS when I jump into a fucking gunfight.
Worth it.
Or even if they uncapped it for the X, give me a reason to get an X. I'll play PUBG on it if it makes it better. I bet you sell more X's at that point too. So yeah, if it ran better, 100% would be up there farther. But at its stance right now, in my Game of the Year choices, that's why I got number 3.
Yeah, in my list, it didn't hit it just because of all the technical issues.
I got you.
There was enough other games that came out perfectly complete. They were good for me. But, I mean, you guys have touched on it. This is some of the most fun gaming I've had, especially with friends, that I've had in a long, long time.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to the day that it runs smoothly.
Yep. But yeah, that's why I put it there as number 2. Because like I said, I know they're not going to just put this game out there and forget about it. It's something that they're gonna baby and make it like it should be.
Make it their baby.
Yeah. Right now it's just in a fetus stage. Yeah. So all right, that would be number 2 for us.
Yep.
And let's go with number 1. Ben.
Fortnite.
Ooh.
I dig it.
Really long sections.
Yeah.
So, like I said earlier, games that stay updated are always something that I'm going to keep in high regard. And as far as games this year that I had the opportunity to play, I did a crappy job of playing some of the ones that were actually in the award shows because I'm lazy and I don't like first-person like story modes as much. Fortnite is something I put a ton of time into when it first came out.
That you did.
So it came out originally in July as kind of like a solo, like you can play with some of your friends.
No, you can play with your friends.
Or you can play with your friends. Yeah.
A horde,
it was a story horde mode.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of story behind it. The storm's coming in. You have to save the people, increase your base size, all this stuff. It was really cool. I stayed home from work the day it came out. I put a shit ton of time into it. We played it for a really long time, and we played it competitively, too. I remember we were all kind of chasing each other's scores and stuff, trying to get the best people.
I'm the highest level. Come get me.
Kind of that exact thing. And then in the big tornado of Battle Royale coming to Xbox One, they came out with a free version.
Yeah.
Called Fortnite Battle Royale.
That runs a hell of a lot smoother than PUBG.
It runs like butter compared to the
and
PUBG.
that goes right to that they keep everything meta. They keep up with everything they do. You know, Halloween stuff. They made a rocket launcher into a pumpkin. Now that it's Christmas time, they have
it's a terrible broken rocket launcher that shoots snowballs.
And they have different costumes, and everything is aesthetic.
Yep,
aesthetic. So it doesn't help you in game, but just the fact they keep everything. And the developers remind me of the same passion that the developers of Overwatch, who won Game of the Year last year. They just seem to care so much about this game that they'll do anything for it, and they'll put in the time and the work to get everything, keep everything updated, keep servers maintained and everything. And so I think for me, as an extremely well-rounded third-person shooter, both having Save the World and Battle Royale, it deserved Game of the Year this year.
It was a good game.
For sure.
Like Zach said about top 10, this probably would have been in my top 10.
Same.
I had a lot of fun when it was when it wasn't the Battle Royale, building my base, making it, being able to withstand zombies attacks and everything.
Figuring out like the best way, the most efficient way, the best traps.
The way they come, see if you could funnel them in so you didn't need anybody else there. I really like that aspect behind
Back when llamas were still a thing.
Buying llamas, llama, red pajama.
Oh, those are so much fun. And they talk to you like, ooh, shovel.
I wish that like they were incorporated in
Battle Royale
more. Like,
yeah.
Either like PUBG where you're saving up enough, you get V-Bucks from, but like it's their paid currency, so it's tough because they need to be supported somehow.
So my other question is, do you go into Save the World at all when you get into Fortnite Battle Royale? Because I go in every once in a while and I actually have llamas.
I was going to say, because even like the daily check-ins, I feel like every like 30 days or something you get like...
I think it was every 7 days.
Every 7 days you get a llama?
I feel like I get one...
Well, some of them, because I feel like some of the days are actual like V-Bucks that you get, like the paid currency. So no, I guess there's no reason I shouldn't be clicking to that quick to just get my daily reward without going into the actual Battle Royale.
Because then you could use those V-Bucks in the Battle Royale, so if you wanted to, you could buy one of those custom suits or something.
Yep. So what I did was I went in, got as many V-Bucks as I could from Save the World quick, and then I was able to get like the Battle Pass, which is more aesthetic stuff and cooler stuff.
I would do it just to get the gingerbread outfit.
Yeah, that's one of the options.
Yeah.
You can buy it with V-Bucks. I think it's like 600 or something.
I hate the way that looks.
Really?
I would not want to run around in that gingerbread outfit.
I think the gingerbread looks a lot cooler than the skeleton.
I faced a nutcracker the other day. This guy was in a Nutcracker costume.
I saw the Nutcracker.
He killed you after he killed me.
He murdered me.
Yep. So yeah, that's my top. I wanted to surprise you guys. This game actually
definitely did.
Thank
I'll
you.
tell you a little secret, Zach. When we get off of PUBG at night, I play like another hour of Fortnite.
Oh boy,
you're cheating on the PUBGs.
I am.
I figured I pegged you for like a Call of Duty for being number one.
Call of Duty was my runner-up.
I'm surprised you didn't even have. No, it
Call
wasn't
of Duty
your
was
runner
your
up.
number 6.
Yeah, it was your number six runner-up.
6 Man of the Year award.
Yeah. Oh well.
Well, when I heard runner-up, I
five.
thought number 2. I was
Yep.
like, no.
Runner-up to my top 5. It's a good game. Like I still play Call of Duty, but my taste is changing, I guess, which is unfortunate for me.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
We enjoy it.
Maybe you'll like vegetables soon.
Oh.
Nope. Not a thing. Never a thing.
100%
No.
Hard pass on vegetables.
Yeah, with Fortnite, it started off as a great game with just the Horde mode. Like we collectively put a shit ton of hours into just the Horde mode, and then like dropping a fully functioning, well-oiled Battle Royale mode on top of already a great thing they had going.
Fucking free.
For free.
Yeah.
On both consoles and PC. This is free.
Yeah, that's pretty
It's
impressive.
good. If you don't have it, there's
well done,
no reason
Epic.
not to have it. Good work, Epic. I agree.
Bravo. All right, so Zach, you're number 1.
My number 1 was Horizon Zero Dawn. Woo! Yeah, you did it! Congratulations! We love you!
Which is also my number 2.
Oh yeah, that's because it was a hell of a game. That's why. It's not often that I play some of these third-person action-y games that I get so involved in like the story, which is just a small portion of this game that makes it so great. Like the combat is some of the best combat in gaming, I think. Having different weapons, having different types of weapons, having like the tripcaster, the bowcaster, is that one? Nope,
that's Chewbacca's weapon.
Yep, that's what.
The tripcaster, the tie-down caster,
the rope caster. Is that what it's called?
I couldn't remember.
Trip people up with it.
Yeah, then you can shoot like grenades too.
But yeah, then like each weapon could have like a shock mode or a fire mode. It had metal dinosaurs that you were fighting.
Was very cool.
The setting, like post-apocalypse, is great as a setting. This is like post-apocalypse where society's devolving down to like tribes at this point. And then metal dinosaurs again, like
where's the? I can't see anything wrong with that. You know,
it's
Sounds
perfect.
There wasn't.
And Aloy as a protagonist, she's probably like there's some good like BJ Blazkowicz. I feel like was awesome this year. But Aloy for me is like she was the best character that I got the chance to play with this year in games. She's compassionate towards like everyone. Like you have your options when you're talking, and even like her like
hardcore
her
mode.
bad guy like mode is still kind of endearing.
Yeah.
Like it's not all, she's not horrible. She's just a good overall person. She's voice acted well. Everybody in the game was voice acted very well. The one thing that maybe I wasn't huge on was some of the side quests. Some of them were definitely fetch questy, which I'm not a fan of at all.
Could you please go get me some rubber bands?
Exactly. And like there's an example of that happens. You guys must have played through it. Like at the very beginning where there's like an old deaf lady and she like needs her some chickens and a necklace or something. And those kind of suck. But you have other side activities like the cauldrons, which are kind of like shrines or temples that you have to go through to get the ability to override the dinosaur animal things. Once you override them, you can actually mount some of them. You can just have them fight for you. So like if you're stealthy enough when you're playing this game, you could turn enough of the robots into like good guys that you'd have like a herd of these like velociraptor things that could just take down a T-Rex with you. The story, like I said, is great. Once you get to the point in the story that you actually find out what Zero Dawn is and like what happened at the end of humanity, kind of the end of humanity, you get to play back some of that through like audio logs and like videos. Finding all that stuff out it's pretty awesome. It's one of my favorite stories in games, right up there with like Mass Effect 2, BioShock for me.
Yeah,
Red Dead.
Really good games you're mentioning right there.
I really love all these stories, and it definitely deserved the top spot for me this year.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, the open world's good.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it.
Nice
It wasn't in my top 5, but definitely would have been in my top
Breath
10.
of the Wild and Zelda, those two.
Yep.
Very similar, both fantastic games. I'll take the game with a story that I can relate to is what it came down for me.
I mean, I don't know how you can relate to the end of the world and
a story that I can
dinosaurs.
That's true.
Robot dinosaurs, but if you can relate to that, be my guest.
A story that I can get more into.
He was talking about the compassion of the human nature.
Yes, which I am more than familiar with.
All right. Well, thank you for your number one. And my number one would be Zelda Breath of the Wild. Woo! Oh, yeah.
Surprise!
Good job, Belly Shirt Lady.
Belly shirt.
How's your unicorn motorcycle?
I don't know why you guys are giving it such guff. It's a great game.
It was my number 2
It was your number 2.
I'm more than aware that it is a 10 out of 10.
I can relate to this guy a little bit more because he doesn't speak the whole game.
And you wear belly shirts.
Every now and then my shirt is a little bit of a belly shirt, so I can relate to it. But anyways, I put this as number 1. First off, I love Zelda. I have since I can ever imagine.
You can never imagine.
I can
imagine whenever.
And I always love Zelda. So that's one of the reasons why it's my number 1. But another reason why it's my number 1 is because it's such a massive game, and there's so many ways of going about everything.
This game doesn't hold your hand.
No, it doesn't. It literally just says, here you go. Your object of this game is to defeat Ganon. You have a few different ways of doing it. Do it however you want.
That's the thing. Like speed runners are beating this game in like 30 minutes or something like that. Maybe it was less. We talked about that a long time ago.
Basically, they beat the first thing so they can get off the first little
the plateau.
Yep. Once you're off of that, you pretty much can do whatever you want. If you want to, you can go straight to Ganon's castle and defeat him.
Bring it, Ganon.
And you only have bare minimum to do this. Which I love that idea where it says, you can do whatever you want. If you play the game a little longer, it's going to make the final boss a little easier. But another things I liked about it is there was all these little temples in the shrines.
The shrines.
So many shrines. In each shrine, there was a task to do to unlock something, but there was other things in the shrine to unlock as well.
Yeah, they're all really unique, or like maybe there'd be one aspect from one shared with another one, but then like no two shrines were the same ever.
There was
Ish.
two shrines. And there was two mountains that were peaked right next to each other.
Yes, the two fucking ones that are actually the same. My bad.
You just had to make sure the balls from one matched up with the balls from other.
So other than the two twin
that were
shrines
literally
on the
meant
twin
to be
mountains.
twins.
Yeah, but they were really great. I love that. This is the only game that I've put umpteenth many hours in, lost my whole savings onto it, and I'm starting it again. And I'm playing it a little bit differently. I'm not going the same route I went before. I'm trying to.
It's probably tough to even go the same route that you went before, like
my goodness.
remembering it.
It is. And there's things that I didn't even find on my last run through.
I bet
I'm
you
finding
that'll
now.
keep happening.
Yeah, and I also like how there's just so many ways of going about things. Like I've already said before, like if you have to go into a cold setting area, there's 3 different ways you can go about doing this. You can buy extra clothing, you could eat hot food, or you could set your sword on fire and run with it, and that will keep you warm. I like things like that, that you can get around it without having to do it a certain way. And the game's ginormous. It's great. You can play it wherever you want on the Switch.
Well, yeah, just being on the Switch itself
helps,
which elevates every game to as high as it can be. Yeah. Speaking of being able to go wherever you want, the traversal in this game is, I want to say, probably the best traversal. Like any place that you see and you want to go, you can make it happen.
Yep.
You have your stamina meter.
Stamina wheel.
So it's like, I have this much stamina. Can I make it to the top of this mountain?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, maybe not. You might have to wait until you level up your stamina a little bit more to come back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Also with the hang glider.
Yep.
Like you can hang glide, which also uses your stamina. But so maybe you hang glide into the side of a mountain and then continue climbing from wherever you land.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I loved the hang gliding / literally being able to climb anything aspect. Makes this traversal a lot unlike any other, pretty much. It kind of ruined other games that followed it, where I would be like, why isn't it easy for me to just climb up this rock?
Yeah.
Link could just climb up the rock.
And he's in a belly shirt.
He's in a belly shirt.
You know?
Why can't you climb up the rock?
Yeah, you have a grapple hook, but yet you can't climb up this rock.
Bayek in Assassin's Creed is probably the only one who can kind of compete with Link as far as climbing anything.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a hang glider.
No, he doesn't. The other thing I liked about it too is your weapons didn't last forever. So you had to keep an eye on how your weapons were, because they will break on you.
And I know that frustrated a lot of people, but I'm with you where I think having to keep an eye on that, or if you get a really good weapon, like if you get a weapon that's 20 levels higher than something you have now, you're not just going to use that.
No, you're going to save it.
You're going to need to save it for when you're fighting something that's 20 levels higher than you.
There's only one weapon that couldn't break, and that was obviously the Master Sword.
I thought it could break in this game.
What it would do is it wouldn't break. It would have energy, and when the energy was worn out, you really couldn't use it, and then you have to wait for the energy for the sword to build back up.
Okay.
And then you could reuse it again.
I never got to the Master Sword.
You had to have to unlock the Master Sword. You had to have at least 13 health to even get the Master Sword unlocked. And it was a puzzle in itself. Like I said, it had everything a good Zelda wanted and more into this game, and that's why I put it as number one.
And that's the thing, is like this game obviously wasn't just great for longtime fans of the series like you. It took people like me who had never played a Zelda game. And this is probably in my top 10 games of all time.
Yeah.
Like it was that good. And I can't imagine being someone who was a fan of Zelda previously going to this new type of Zelda that's open and huge and beautiful. It's stylized, like it's artsy looking. It's like more cartoony than Horizon, which is another thing. That Horizon, for me, I like the more realistic looking thing. But yeah, Zelda. Shit. Zelda's fucking awesome.
It was awesome, and I used to get ridiculed by you when I would play Zelda, when it was
when
Twilight
we were just
Princess
an Xbox
or something like that.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Back in the day when I was playing Twilight Princess and I had the 360, I tried showing you some cool Zelda, and you're like, dude, this game is stupid. It's Zelda. I'm like, okay,
I don't remember this. I think you might have had a fever dream.
Yeah, or showing it to. I mean, maybe not just you, but you didn't have any interest in Zelda before Ocarina of Time. I mean, not Ocarina of Time, before Breath of the Wild.
Nope.
And you missed out on a lot of good Zelda.
But you know what sucks? Is that I'm not going to be able to go back to those older Zeldas now.
No, it's hard to go back to those.
I've been spoiled by this Zelda. I'm going to be expecting to climb up mountains with stamina bars and go through shrines. Lots of shrines. I'm assuming the old games had shrines.
They had temples.
Or temples.
Yeah. It was basically, how they had the 4 mythical beasts and then all the temples?
Yeah.
It was like taking those beasts and then jamming them with a bunch of temples.
Okay. Yeah.
Like that kind of deal. I just love the way they took the game. Another game where it basically reinvented itself.
Like Resident Evil did. Yeah. Same kind of deal.
Exactly.
I will say that this is my favorite food making game as well.
Right?
The first time that I threw a few apples into the fire and like the food like dances to some funny music, and I was like, what's going to come out?
Did you ever make bad food?
Yeah.
And then the music even goes womp, 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 basically, and he puts his head down.
He's like, I made a bad food.
The picture, the food looks so disgusted that they actually have to blur it out.
Yeah.
So it was nice. It's little touches like that, too, that I really like. That's why I voted it number 1. But
not just you. There's lots of people who this game's definitely up there for them. So,
but
hell of a game.
As of Risky Radio, those are our top 5 games of the year. We appreciate you stopping in and listening to all this. But thanks, guys.
So let's Ben, how about you take us out here?
You can finish the takeout. I was finishing being the host of the game show.
You did a great job.
We love
hands for Lewis. Good job.
Yeah,
you did it.
That's for me. This is the only time I've ever been cheered in my life.
Just for you, Lewis. You did it.
I can feel.
Good job,
I feel
Lou.
the roses being thrown at my face.
Oh, that's not roses.
No.
So let's go around the table. Where can we find you, and what will you be playing this upcoming week, Zach?
You can find me at Risky the Kid everywhere. I'm going to dive back into Persona 5, and I'm going to play more Zelda. Since I did say that I didn't get it for Christmas, but I did buy it as soon as I realized I didn't get it.
Very nice.
So I did buy it on Christmas, so I'll be playing that. How about you, Lou?
PUBG, Zelda, who knows, really.
PUBG, yeah.
PUBG,
I'll be there, too.
It'll probably wind up being maybe some Fortnite. Who knows? I might try to... I've said this before, get back into Prey and everything. It's just hard
The Last of Us.
to get back into those games when there's so many other things to play.
Well, you got a dead period coming up, so...
I do.
Get games played.
Mm-hmm. And where can we find you?
You can find me at Waterloo on the Xbox, Waterlewis on the PlayStation, and that's really about it. I'm not too many other places.
All right. How about you, Ben?
You can find me at OMG Chopa everywhere. I got a new webcam for Christmus, so we're looking to do a little bit more streaming now that we can have that as an option. As far as playing goes this week, it'll probably be a lot of the same: PUBG, Fortnite, League of Legends. Nothing really new coming out. I keep telling myself I want to try and dabble back into some of those story mode games that Zach and
You should
Lewis
go try to
played.
beat Cuphead.
Yeah,
Or
no,
play a little more
I don't
Cuphead.
have maybe a little bit more Cuphead. I might be able to dabble in that a little bit. But if you want to get in touch with us, officialwhiskeyradio@gmail.com. You can send us an email, especially for that giveaway we're doing. We're really looking forward to see who wins. Or if you want to get to know us on Twitter @_whiskeyradio. I'm on that once in a while. But that's going to do it for us tonight here at Risky Radio. On behalf of everyone, I'd like to thank you for joining us. We had a great time. We hope you did too. So until next time, we'll catch you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.